keep a journal, and not for some dumb reason, like, you watch some YouTube video and journaling, has some sort of cognitive benefit or anything like that. Just keep a journal of your journey while you're doing it, because a story that just happened to me was I had been journaling on and off a couple of years ago, and I had wrote down the exact same goal that I came to the conclusion that was my goal again, like yesterday. And I completely forgot that I had already thought of this before, and I had already wanted to do it, and I had already planned it out and all that kind of stuff. And just seeing that was the little tiny push I needed to start doing YouTube and start doing all this kind of stuff, because it can be really difficult there's like almost this barrier of if you're not super involved in the social media and all that kind of stuff, it can be really difficult to break into that world. There's a kind of a big societal, I don't even know what you'd really call it, but it's hard. It's hard to face those demons of who's gonna watch this, who's gonna view this a certain way, are people gonna like this? Does this make any sense? Am I dumb? Am I smart? You don't know. But all you can do is just speak from your heart and see what happens. There's a lot of people that are getting real famous now that are either you can put them into two boxes. They're either fitting some sort of trend or some sort of thing that people are lacking, so that they are just by default becoming famous, and not necessarily because they're great people or because they're necessarily doing good for the world. It's just something that's a trend, or something that people are currently obsessed with, or it's just envy. You envy this person, you're going to keep watching them and you're drawn to that instead of working on yourself. And then there's this small percentage, people like Sam Sulek and not just him, but a lot of people that are making it in this world because they're just being genuine. And that's my goal here. If I ever get to a point where I stop being genuine and I start, what's going to give me the most views or some BS like that, that defeats the purpose of all of this. The whole point of this is to have a platform that you are able to communicate with the entirety of the world for free. So you can either use it for, cutting up clips and make brain rot content that's just dumbing down society, or you can speak your mind and help people, So this medium that I thought for the longest time was just inherently evil, there was no good to it. I was like, we don't need social media. It's not going anywhere. It's not leaving. It's only getting more intertwined with our lives. And to ignore it and just to put my head under the sand and be like, I'm never going to do this, it's dumb. That it's not going anywhere. This is now the new vessel of change. This is what everyone looks through. This is the vernacular. This is the telescope that everyone's looking at to see the world. This is what it is. So what I really want to do here is start my journey, document my journey, meet cool people along the way, and hopefully inspire other people to be genuine. Because that's really what it is. You can never be not happy if you're genuinely expressing yourself and you're genuinely making progress towards a specific goal. There is no way you could ever be happy doing something that does not resonate with you. No matter how much money you're making, no matter, it can't work. If you as a human are not resonating with the concept or goal that you're chasing, you will never enjoy the process. You're not even really living at that point, and you'll never be good at it. You have to love it. You have to love it, and to love something just means that this is closest to my soul. This is something that makes sense to me, and this is something that I can do, right? And everybody has those things, no matter how small, no matter how big. And it doesn't matter either. It doesn't matter if it's something small. Don't think that your goal is small so that it's meaningless. You compound that by 8 billion people on this earth, astronomical. But you thinking that it's small, you seeing other people on the world stage, it's all a game. It's all a game. Their goal is no more meaningful than yours at all. Not at all. Yours is just as meaningful. And a lot of the times it's more meaningful because it's genuine. You know, a lot of these people that you see that are doing crazy things, there's control going on. You know, there's people behind them saying, do this, do that. You can't do this, can't do that. Freedom is being genuine and doing the thing you actually want to do. That's what it is. And even if there's a risk, I'm 23 years old right now. I'm in college still because of, you know, playing hockey and stuff like that. I don't have any money. I have no money. I'm fortunate enough, I'm an only child. My parents are helping me with tuition, but I don't have any money. I got like $40 right now. Like, I don't know. You know, I'm optimistic. You know, I got God on my side, you know, and I know that what's real will always prosper, but just go for it, man. Go for it. You know, what do you have to lose? Especially if you're young. The 9 to 5 is always waiting for you. It's not going anywhere. I mean, actually, you know, maybe it will go somewhere with AI, but that's a whole nother video. But yeah, man, just go for it. Do what you want to do. Do what you've always wanted to do. And you're going to love the process. I can guarantee you. I can guarantee you're going to love the process. And that's why I'm making this. That's why I'm talking about this. It took every ounce of my being to even turn on this, record on an iPad right now. Hopefully I'll get a better way to record this. But, you know, my phone, the camera on my phone isn't working for video for some reason, you know. Everything was just not wanting me to do this. So I take that as something I got to do. But yeah, man, I've got some goals. You've got some goals. Let's do them together. I'm going to document it. I'm going to do my best. You guys are going to get to see, you know, what I'm doing, which is new to me, but that's what it takes. That's what it takes to inspire people, and that's what it takes to, you know, make an actual change in this world, because regurgitating brain rot content is making us dumber. And a really good way, I know it's getting long, a really good way to determine where we're at a societal level is to look at our level of humor. And I didn't read some science on this. This is more or less just something that I came up with. But our humor used to be really advanced. It used to be things that were actually like genuinely funny, and you weren't laughing at everything all the time. Humor is not supposed to be something that's just spammed at us whenever we open our phone and you've got, you know, a frog on a tricycle with fart noises in the background. It's like, it's funny, but like, why? Why is that funny, you know? And I know this might sound dumb, but I think there's a collective effort going on of dumbing us down to the point where we accept anything. And once we get to that point, we're hopeless. So what I'm imploring you to do is start working on the thing that you want to do. No matter how weird it feels, no matter how foreign it feels, to become something you're not, you have to do something that you don't normally do. So by nature, it's gonna feel foreign because it is, because you've never done it before. So go do it, and I will be with you the whole way. And I'll keep posting, you know, and if you hit a roadblock, you know, just like I do all the time, come back to this, leave a comment, you know, and maybe I can give you some advice, and, you know, vice versa. If I'm at a roadblock, you know, I'll make a video about it and be like, hey, I'm stuck here, man. I don't know where to go. You know, what are you guys doing? How's it been helping you guys? So that's what I want this to be for. And there's going to be a lot of people that are like, you know, I know this guy, this is cringe or whatever. That's fine. You know, that's how it is. But I think, you know, as I said in the last video, man, this is it. This is it. You young people, this is the last generation of normalcy. So let's do it. Let's get it going, boy. Come on.